Hi everybody, we're going to start learning about money and recognising coins and notes. But before we do that, let's just have a quick recap which will help us with our counting. So pause the video and see if you can work these ones out. So 1 add 1 equals 2, nice simple one. 1 add 1 add 1 add 1 add 1 is 5. Next one, 10 add 10 is 20. 10 add 10 add 10 add 10 add 10 is 50. So I know to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Next one, 5 add 5, nice easy one, is 10. And then 5, 10, 15. Fantastic if you managed to get those right. So let's have a look at these coins. Anybody recognise these coins? So we've got £1, a £2, a 5 pence, a 1 pence, a 2 pence, a 10 pence, a 20 pence and a 50 pence. And we can sort these coins in lots of different ways. So we could sort them by colour. So we could sort them by colour that way. We've got bronze, or we've got the silver, or we've got the gold and silver ones. We could also sort them by size. So if you look, the 10 and the 2 pence are the same size. We could also sort them by shape, because the 50 and the 20 are the same shape. They've both got 7 sides. And we could also sort them by words, because these are pounds and all the others are pence. So we could also look at coins like this. So 10 ones is equal to 1 10. So we can exchange 10 ones for 1 10, and we've done that, haven't we, with the deans in class. So we could have the same with our pennies. We could have 2 pennies could be exchanged for a 2 penny coin. So instead of using 2 1 pennies, we could use 1 2 penny. If we had 5 1 pennies then, what could we exchange that for? Remember going back to that first screen where we saw all those coins? We didn't have a 3 and a 4 pence coin or a 6, 7, 8 and 9, did we? There's only certain coins that we can use. So if we've got 5 1 pennies, we could exchange that for a 5 pence piece. Fantastic. Next one then. If I had a 5 pence and a 5 pence, what could I exchange that for? 5 and 5 makes 10, so we could have a 10 pence piece instead. What about a 20 pence then? We could have 2 10s instead of a 20 pence. So there are lots of ways we can use money to help us. 50 pence, we could have 5 10s because we know 5 10s is 50. So what I want you to do is I want you to sort these coins into the smallest to the greatest value. So what's the smallest value and what's the biggest value? So have a little think, pause the video if you need to. What is the smallest value? So our smallest value is 1, then it goes 2, then it goes 5, then it goes 10, then it goes 20 and then it goes 50. Because we know 50 is greater than 1 or 20 is bigger than 5, don't we? Okay, it doesn't go in the size order, it goes in the value of how much it is. It's the smallest to greatest value. So let's compare some of those coins. Have a little think. You might want to pause the video and I would like you to write this down. So 50, is it greater than, equal to or less than 5? So write 50 or draw a 50 pence piece. Do the symbol and then draw the 5. So do it for each of these. Off you go. So 50 is greater than 5. Give yourselves a tick if you got that one. 2 is less than 20. Give yourself a tick if you got that one. And 20 is equal to 5 pence. 4. Let me say that again. 20 is equal to 4 5 pences, isn't it? So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so 20 is equal to 4 5 pences. Well, I got a bit tongue-tied there. Next one then. What is the same and what is different about these two coins? Pause the video and have a little think. Now, they're both the same because they're both 1. But are they the same value? If you had 1 penny and you had £1, are they worth the same? No, they're not, because £1 is worth 100 pennies. Wow. So 10 pences, that is quite tricky, isn't it? So £1 is worth more than 1 penny. What about this then? Do you think £2 is worth more than 2 pence? Yeah, it is, isn't it? So £2, okay, is 200 pennies. So it's 100 2 pennies. So a penny isn't worth very much, okay? And actually, you probably don't think you can get many things at the supermarket for pennies now. It's more pounds, isn't it? So a pound or £2 are bigger than pennies, and that's something to remember. So even though it's 1, and that's 1, actually that value is a lot more than that. So it's just remembering that, guys. So £1 is greater than 1 penny. £1 is greater than 2 pennies. £1 is greater than 5 pennies. So even though that says 1 and that says 5, that is still bigger because remember it's worth 100 pennies, isn't it? Okay, so we don't say 100 pence, we say £1. So it's just remembering that as well. £1 is greater than 10 pence, £1 is greater than 20 pence, and £1 is greater than 50 pence. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video, and I want you to have a look on the screen here, and I want you to work out how many 5p coins there are, how many 50p coins there are, how many pound coins there are, and how many £2 coins there are, just by counting them. So pause the video and off you go. So there are 6 5p coins, 4 50p coins, 5 £1 coins, and 3 £2 coins. Give yourself a tick if you managed to get that right. So let's have a look at recognising notes now. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pound coins. Now that is equivalent of a £5 note. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of using £5 coins, you could use a £5 note. What could we use for a £10 note then? There are a couple of ways you could do this. You might want to write them down. Pause the video and have a think, what could I use for a £10 note? So I could use £10 coins, or I could use 2 £5 notes. All right, and this is where it's quite confusing, isn't it? So we could use pounds, as long as we've got 10 of them, or we could use 2 £5 notes because we know 5 and 5 makes 10. And this is where all the work we've done around understanding number comes in, because it does really help you. What about this time then? This is a £10 note. And now I've got 2 tens, which is 20. So that equals a £20 note. So again, we don't have an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, £19 note. We only have a £10 note or a £20 note. So if something cost £11, I could use a £10 coin and what else? A pound coin as well. So a £10 note and a £1 coin as well. Are we ready? This time I've got 2 £10 notes. Then I've added another one, so that makes 3. So how much have I got there? 3 tens is 30. Well done. Then I've added another 10. How many have I got now? 40. And another one makes 50. And that is the same as a £50 note. So we do have a £50 note as well. So in notes, we've got a £5, a £10, a £20 and a £50 note. So let's see if we can put these in the least to the greatest value. So pause the video and have a go. So again, we've got the lowest, which is £5, then it's £10, then it's £20, and then it's £50. So again, we know 50 is bigger than 10. So we know £50 is going to be greater than £10. Fantastic. They're all greater than each other. So have a look at the pictures here. Have a little go at how many £5 notes there are, how many £10 notes, how many £20 notes, and how many £50 notes. Pause the video and have a go at that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 £5 notes, 1, 2, 3 £10 notes. It's hiding some of them, won't they? So you've got to make sure you recognise the colours as well. 1, 2, 3 £20 notes, and 1, 2, 2 £50 notes. Give yourself a tick if you managed to get that right. Well done. Quite tricky today learning all those coins and notes, but hopefully you've become a little bit familiar about recognising coins and notes, and then that will help you when we start adding numbers and coins together to buy things. Very important to learn about money. So take care, everybody.